Good morning, guys. This is John Lee Hilliard from JT's Vending, coming to you with this video pertaining to those of you who may have young men and women who obsessively play the video game. Now, just remember, there's nothing inherently wrong with playing a video game. It's amusement. It's a way to not think about something, because I do it myself. Like I used to be obsessed with my video game, just playing my PlayStation. And that's one of the things that consistently drove me into poverty, because my focus was, okay, even when I was at work, I was focused on, man, when I get home, I'm gonna play the game. I'm gonna play this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. And I wasn't able to focus as much. But now that I'm an adult, and I'm most of my attention now is on the biblical principles about budgeting and finances, and about raising my family and being a better husband and provider. Now, I'm able to look back and see those they were problems with me playing the video game all the time, like being obsessed with it. So, as you guys know, your children do what you do. They see you. Even when you think they're not listening, they see you. And the things they see you do, they do just on a smaller scale. And it doesn't seem to be noticeable or effective until they become an adult or preteen. So this video is pertaining to how to get your children, young children, to get off the video game, or stop being so obsessed about unnecessary things that don't add value. The only reason I'm using video games in this scenario is because that was my obsession, video games. So, first things first, thank you guys for tuning in this morning. Thank you for watching the videos, helping us grow, and thank you for sharing. And let's jump right into it. So, the first thing I did as a father, I started getting into God's Word, started reading the Bible myself, and I ran across Proverbs chapter 22, verse 6 and 7. And I didn't fully understand. I knew what it said, but I didn't know what it was saying. And so Proverbs verse 22, verse 6 says, train a child up in the way that they should go, so when they become old, they won't depart from those ways. Remember, that's not a promise this God is making. It's saying, like they'll be more apt to fall back on those things that they know from childhood, that they've done since childhood, than to do anything new. So, and then verse 7 says, the rich rule over the poor, the borrower is slave to the lender. And I got to thinking, like, how the heck is that connected? Well, I was broke. I wasn't trained to manage my finances. I wasn't brought up to budget as a child. So I was brought up to work hard, and I worked hard. But when I received the money, I had no idea what to do with it, other than being a youth, a kid, young. I wanted to look nice. I want to buy things so I can look fake rich, so I can feel valued in society. And that was completely wrong. So anyway, I got into all these loans and borrowing money. So now I'm a slave to the people I owe, because I go home and I play my video game to try to block out the fact that I broke hours on a video game, when I could have spent 3 or 4 hours learning a new skill to add value to my life and my family, and to add value to my income. I could have learned a new skill to get a new trade in the amount of time that I played the video game. So all that to say is, a lot of video games now track and show you in real time how many hours and days and months and years you have spent on a video game. So my PlayStation does it. So it shows, I can't remember the exact time, but I'll do another video showing how much time I spent within the last 5 years playing a video game. But anyway, what I'm saying is we have to be intentional. Don't just give our kids the game just to kind of keep them from bothering us. Don't just give them something to do. So this video will finish talking about that. So you have to remember, if you're trying to get your child off of the video game or off of anything that they're obsessed with that doesn't add value to their lives, this is what you should do. Step one, remember that intention follows attention. So what I did with my son is that I got him to be intentional about doing something else. So in this scenario, he was playing a video, Fortnite. You guys probably heard of it if you got young kids. He was playing Fortnite a lot. I mean, obsessed with it. He was getting paid and then buying Fortnite stuff. So what I did, when I started to read the word, train a child up in the way that they should go, I was like, well, playing a video game for me was one of the things that kept me in poverty, kept me broke. So I was like, well, I'm not finna have my son do that. He's my legacy. I'm not finna have him follow me. So I got obsessed with, what can I do to invest in my child so that he'll have a better chance in life? And when I say invest, I don't necessarily mean money all the time. You don't all the time have to put money. A lot of time is time, quality time. So what I did was, with knowing that intention follows attention, I got him to do things that he could earn money. So I got him to work. My son does not like to work, but I incentivize him by withholding things that he wanted when we would go out as a family to the mall, to the store, to do things. And he would say, oh, Daddy, can I have this? Yeah, if you buy it. Oh, Daddy, can I have this? Yeah, with your own money. And he would go, Daddy, I don't have any money. Oh, sounds like a you problem. And then I would go, well, where does money come from? And he would go, he'll hold his head down. Work. Yes, money comes from work. So if you work, you get paid. When you get paid, you buy the things that you choose. So he was doing that. He would come and say, Dad, what can I do to earn some money? So I was like, cool. He would get off the video game, because at that time he wanted to buy video game stuff. And I would even say then, nope. No, with your money you can buy it. So he started buying video game stuff. And then after about a month or two, he started wanting other things outside of the video game stuff. And he was like, I don't got enough money. I said, well, I remind him, you spent all your money on this on Fortnite, V-Bucks. And then slowly he started to process, I need to stop spending all my money on this stupid game so I can have money to buy stuff at the store. So, me consistently not giving in as a father, I love him, but I had to teach him the hard way, but I had to let him learn himself. So I got him to be intentional about earning money, and then being intentional about earning money helped shift his attention to work. So now his attention is focused on working and earning money. As you see all the latest videos on YouTube and TikTok that we've been posting, that he is now, he's earning money rapidly because he don't play the game as much. He played the game this weekend because of his two friends were over here, but that was it. And the only reason they stayed in and played the game because it was raining outside. But that was it. But that was step one, knowing that intention follows attention. To get him to be intentional about doing something else, shifted his attention to that thing he was doing, which obviously is positive for a young man. So step number two, that comes where the parent, where you are the one that has to be intentional and focus on setting boundaries for your children. So when he began to spend a lot of his money on a video game, my wife was like, John, stop him. Stop him. I'm telling her, I was explaining to her, like, he needs to. I need him to. So he can feel where he is making the mistakes. And if you give in and stop them ahead of time, a lot of times they don't feel that pain of something they need, or they had the money if they wouldn't spend it on something. So they don't feel that pain. So therefore, when they don't feel it, it doesn't really take effect. So it's those two major steps that I took was just being me as a parent, being intentional about focusing on not giving in, not giving him the thing he wants, has helped him become a better man. Number one, to teach him how to manage his money, to teach him what to do with his money and how to earn it. And three, help him focus on the things that he will need in this life. Because when he's 18, when he's an adult, and he goes out into the world, I won't be there all the time to coach him. So that falls back into Proverbs chapter 22, verse 6, where it says where it says, train a child up in the way that they should go, and when they become old, they won't depart from those ways. So I know budgeting is a lifelong skill. I budget every day of my life, and I love it. I love the budget. It makes me feel in control. So if you have those children who want to control and process everything, a budget is a great place to start, because I guarantee you, like, it's not a promise that they won't not budget when they grow older. And they may become millionaires, but that's what millionaires do. They become millionaires because they budget, because they live on a budget. They live on a strict salary. And yes, their budget may be a lot higher than ours. You know, $3 to $5 million a month is not in my category right now. So, but you get the meaning. You get what I'm saying. I'm just trying to get you to understand that if you not training your child is the same as like ignoring your child, because they'll learn from the world like I did. A lot of the things that I learned about money and finances, almost all came from MTV, BET, rap music, and the dope boys in my neighborhood and drug dealers. Like, came from seeing them and seeing what they do. And then I love my father, but seeing him with his money habits, I saw my father rob Peter to pay Paul. I saw these things. You know, I saw my mother not have and beg and ask people for things. I've seen, bill collectors call and, don't answer their phone. Leave their phone off the hook. I saw those things. And I'm not downing my parents. I'm just letting you guys know I'm 38 years old and I still remember those things. So I don't want to put my children in a situation where they have to not or go without because I'm not being intentional. And Proverbs chapter 13, verse 22 says, a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children, but the sinner's wealth is stored up for the righteous. And then Proverbs chapter 19, verse 14 says, a house and wealth are inherited from fathers, but a prudent wife is from the Lord. So not only is it telling you what a father should leave and should do for their children and should have, but it's telling you what those things should be. So if you can build the wealth in your lifetime and you can teach your children as you're building the wealth to be intentional about budgeting and life skills, that when you leave them something, their children's children can continue. That's called generational wealth. That's not just a phrase that sounds good and make you sound educated. That's an actual thing that you have to apply in your everyday life. And you have to start today, now. it's the time to start building generational wealth. Meaning, you have to teach your children how to manage money first. If you don't know, you have to learn. As a father, a mother, you learn. Teach your children teach their children, and it's generational. That's how you build it. It's not you get it so you can look fancy, look nice. God don't give you the ability to build wealth so that you can look nice and impress people on the earth. He don't give it to you for that. He tells you don't build up treasures in storehouse for yourself on earth. Like, don't build it up. You need to have generational wealth passed down. So that means you have to teach your children. So guys, thank you so much. I hope I was extremely clear, or clear as possible as I could be, with the two main things to do to get your child off of the video games. Mainly video games, the TV monitors, the TV screens. We call them electronic income reducers in our house, because the more hours you spend watching TV, like, you could have spent 2 hours building a skill, learning to add value to your family, but you spend 2 hours on Netflix, or Netflix and chill. You rather watch one more episode of Netflix, or some screaming thing, and you're broke. So that's my whole spiel. Like, if you're broke, living paycheck to paycheck, and you're not adding value and trying to build something and increase the skills that you have, you can't complain about not having anything, because you don't want anything. You want someone to hand it to you, and it's not going to happen that way. And if your children see that, then that's training them up in the way that they should go. They will be just as lazy. Now that side is generational poverty. And people go, oh, that's a generational curse. No, it's not a curse. The individual is lazy, and they choose to sit around and wait till something happen. So I tell people, like, I'm not nice. I'm kind. I love people. I love being generous, because God loves a cheerful giver. And I'm giving you guys this information because I'm kind. I'm not telling you this because it'll make you feel good. I'm telling you this because I lived it in my life, and it was painful, and it hurt. And I wish somebody would have hit me with those pains and that hurtful stuff when I was younger, and I could better handle it than me having to live through it myself by making those mistakes. So guys, thank you so much. I truly appreciate you watching this video thus far. Just be alert that we do have a cash giveaway, should be coming up soon. I truly would like to remind everyone, have either Venmo or Cash App when we do our cash giveaways, because our goal is to bless someone with God's resources